Hey y'all, it's so exciting. This is my 200th video and it's on my 2-year anniversary of being on YouTube. So I'm real excited about today. We had a great party here today at lunch. Had 14 of my close sewing buddies here, and we played games and we ate and we just had a great time. They're all good cooks as well as being great at sewing. So it was a lot of fun. I don't have a lot of pictures to show for that. I didn't have a lot of video for it. So I was just enjoying the time with my friends. So anyhow, tonight I am going to try to make chicken and dressing. Okay, like where you put the chicken in the dressing. This is the way my mother-in-law from years ago used to do it, and it was delicious. She just always liked to put the meat in with the dressing instead of having it separate. So I had a lot of leftover cornbread from the cornbread and chili that I made today for lunch. So I'm going to use that cornbread in this dressing. So that's the first thing I'm going to do is take this cornbread and just crumble it up. And I've got a whole big baggie of it here, and I'm going to crumble it up and put it in just a regular 9 by 13 Pyrex dish. And then I will probably also crumble up a couple of slices of whole wheat bread just to go in there with it to give it a little bit more volume and to also make it stick together better. And that's the only way I know how to say it. But the bread that's not cornbread tends to adhere to the crumbly part of the cornbread and makes it all stick together better. I'm also going to put a lot of eggs in this because that's just what makes it so light and fluffy and puffs up really good. And so anyhow, let me get this cornbread crumbled up along with the bread, and then I'll show you what I'm going to do next. Okay, I'm back. I've got my bread all torn up into small pieces. I've got it over here in this dish. And now, let me turn this light off. Keep forgetting to do that, y'all. Sorry. Okay, and then I've got a pan here with half a stick of butter in it. And I'm gonna melt that, and I've chopped up 2 stalks of celery and a small onion, or medium-sized onion, I guess. And I'm going to saute that in this pan and get it nice and soft, and then I'll pour that in over the bread. I'll be right back with you. Okay, so while that's sauteing and getting soft, I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle some seasonings over this bread. I've got some regular poultry seasoning here, and I wanted to read you what's in the ingredients of poultry seasoning. It is thyme, sage, marjoram, rosemary, black pepper, and nutmeg. So there's no basil in there, so I'm also going to add a little basil because I like basil with chicken. So I'm just going ahead and I'm going to try a teaspoon first. This is a ½ teaspoon measure, so I'm just going to sprinkle this over one end like this, and then another one for the other end. Okay, and now I'm going to put some basil. Easier, just take the top off. And I'm going to put a teaspoon of that. And then I'm also going to sprinkle some garlic powder on it because I didn't see that in the thing. So I think just a ½ teaspoon of that should be fine. All right. And then it said it had pepper in it, but we may wind up adding a few more sprinkles of pepper in here just because Bob likes pepper. And then after I taste it, I'll see how much more salt it might need because there was salt in the cornbread, and I'm sure the bread had some salt in it. but you know, we'll see when we add the chicken in. So this looks like it's almost translucent. So I'll let this continue to cook for just another couple minutes, and then I'm going to get back with you then. Okay, I'm back, and now it's time to start putting everything else together. So got these cooked. I'm just gonna start sprinkling them all over the top of this. All that butter goes in there too. In fact, I may wind up adding some more butter into this because it just makes it more yummy, right? So now we got those all there. And now I've very roughly chopped a half of a rotisserie chicken. Now, we buy our rotisserie chickens at Sam's because for some reason they're just a lot bigger than the ones at the normal grocery store. I don't know why, but you can see I only used half of this rotisserie chicken. It's really big, and they're priced really, I think, less than what they are at the grocery store. So I've rough chopped, and when I say rough chopped, I mean like, you know, like this kind of chop, not tiny chop, but just bite size. So I'm just gonna sprinkle this all over here, and I'm gonna be stirring this all in together anyhow, but to start with, I thought I'd try to kind of have it evenly dispersed. And then when I stir it, maybe it won't be as bad. I did spray the pan first. You could mix everything up in a separate bowl first and then put it in this Pyrex dish, but I thought, why mess up another dish? So I'm just doing it all in one. So there, I've got that all on there. And now I'm gonna go wash my hands. I'll be right back. Sorry about that, I couldn't touch the camera with my greasy hands. So now I'm back, okay. So I think at this point I am gonna sprinkle a little bit more salt over this because it just looks like, you know, that chicken might need its own amount of salt. So I'm just gonna sprinkle some all over that. And it's, you know, it's totally up to you. It's not anything I'm measured on that, but that's just what I would do. So I'm gonna set this up here while I mix this up. This is 6 eggs I've cracked into this bowl, and I'm going to try to mix them in with a can of cream of chicken soup. So let me break the yolks first. And then I'm going to add in some chicken broth because we want this really juicy because it's gonna bake. We don't want real dry dressing. We want it very moist, even though we will make a gravy to go on top of it. But let's get this stirred up. I'm going to stir in a little bit of that chicken broth too. One of those egg yolks still has not broken. Can you believe that? I can see it floating there. Let's see if I can break that thing. Yeah. All right, so I'll measure this for you. I'll just do it in the can. Just put 1 whole can of, this is just chicken broth. Mix that up pretty good. And I'm just gonna go ahead and start pouring this over and stuff as I'm mixing it. I'll just wind up adding a lot more chicken broth in here. Probably this whole container will wind up in here. This is when you just start stirring it up. And then I'll wind up tasting this before I put it in the oven, because I may decide it needs a little bit more of the poultry seasoning. Anyhow, I'm going to keep stirring this and working on it, and then I'll get back with you. Okay, y'all, I finished putting the liquid in, and I wanted to show you what I did. I used the whole container, which was 32 ounces, and then I wound up just putting another cup of just plain water in here. So let me show you what it looks like when you jiggle it. You see how soupy it is? It looks like cornbread soup. But that will all firm up. This bread will soak it up, and the eggs will puff it up, and it'll be good. So I'm about to put it in an oven at 350, probably for about 45 minutes is my guess, but I'll be checking on it every 20 minutes or so. So anyhow, just wanted y'all to see that. Okay, y'all, the dressing, chicken and dressing is almost ready. It's got about 5 more minutes. It's wound up cooking an hour at the end of the 5 minutes. So now I'm going to just start making some gravy, and I've just got some turkey gravy mix here, and I'm going to take the drippings that are in the bottom of the little container that the rotisserie chicken came in, and so it's just about maybe 1/4 of a cup. And I'm just going to put that right down here in this boiler. It's just kind of congealed right now. And then I'm going to add 3/4 of a cup of water in with that. And then just stir this gravy mix in it, and that'll be our gravy. I may slice up a boiled egg and put in with it, but most likely I'm not. I'm just going to make it and just let it be. So as soon as that dressing is ready, I'm going to bring it out and let you see that, because it's going to be yummy, yummy, yummy. I know. It's starting to brown on the top. Let me just see if I can take you over there and let you see it real quick in the oven. Hold on. Okay. You see that in there? See, it's sizzling around the edges. It's puffed up nice, and it's starting to brown a little bit on the top. So I think it'll be just perfect in another about 2 or 3 minutes. So I'll get back with you. All right, y'all, I'm back. It's out of the oven, and it looks wonderful. I just dipped some out so it could cool off a little bit. It's very light and fluffy. It's very moist. It's not dried out or anything. Now I'm going to put a little bit of gravy on it. I'm going to spoon. This gravy, I did a little taste test earlier, and the gravy's very flavorful. That from the drippings that was in that rotisserie there. Yum. Does that look good or what? Look at that, y'all. Did you see that steam coming off of it? We'll have to let it cool a second before I can taste it. Get a little piece here. Hope I got a piece that's got some chicken in it. Oh. Yeah. It's pretty warm. Yeah, that's good. Very light, fluffy, got a great flavor. Bob's gonna love this. And y'all, I am so excited to finally do this 200th video on my 2-year anniversary. And I hope you will subscribe so I can get to that 1,000 mark before midnight tonight. So please share this video with your friends and ask them to please subscribe and help me reach that goal. Anyhow, I'll be cooking a lot more between now and Christmas, so y'all please stay tuned. We've got lots of good dishes planned. So love y'all. Have a great evening.